the three questions. We have already started the story Three Questions, which deals with a king's quest for finding answers to three very important questions. What were the three questions? What is the most, wait 1 second, I think it is in the first page. Yes. What is the right time to begin something? Which people should he listen to? What is the most important thing for him to do? These three questions, he wanted to get the answers to these questions, and for that he visits a hermit. Okay, he goes into the woods to visit a hermit, and he knows that the hermit is a very learned and wise man, and maybe he would be able to give him the answer to the questions. So let us start with the second section. Remember in the last section, towards the end, we have found that the hermit was digging flower bed. The king went to the hermit, and the king told him, volunteered his labor for the work. He told the hermit, please give me this work to do. And the hermit, who was very much exhausted with the day's labor, he sat down while the king completed the task. Right? Then, after completing the entire work, the king again repeats the question to the hermit and tells him that, will you give me the answer or will I go back home? To that, the hermit did not answer him, but rather said, here comes someone running. And yes, there was a man who was running towards the hut of the hermit. Okay, and he was an injured man. Let us find out how the king reacts to him and whether the king helps the man or not. The king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach, from which blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. So when the hermit and the king was talking over there, a man who was very much injured, he was wounded, he had a bloody wound to his stomach, he was running towards the cave, and the king and the hermit, both of them helped him to get his clothing off, and then they started to give him something to stop the bleeding. Okay, so that the bleeding might stop a little bit, and for that reason the king and the hermit, both of them, tried to help the man and let him go into the hut. Okay, the king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. That means the king, he redressed the wound, he made sure that the wound was not bleeding anymore. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. Okay. There was some kind of problem, technical problem. Okay. Now the man was very much wounded, and the king helped to clean his wound. He redressed the wound. That means he tried to stop the blood gushing out from the wound. The man felt better and asked for something to drink. The king brought fresh water and gave it to him. By this time the sun had set and the air was cool. So the man felt better for this, because the king was able to help him at the right time. The blood was probably stopped because of the king who helped him, and so he asked to drink something. The king gave him fresh water. The king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. The man closed his eyes and lay quiet. The king, tired by his walk and the work he had done, lay down on the floor and slept through the night. So the king and the hermit together, they took the wounded man, carried him inside the hut and made him lay down on the bed. The king was also very much tired. You can imagine that a person who is not used to any kind of physical labor, because he was the king, right? So he has done so much work. He has walked such a long distance to the king's, to the hermit's cave, to the hermit's hut, and then he has done so much physical work. He was also very much tired. So he also slept just on the floor. Okay. When he awoke, it was several minutes before he could remember where he was or who the strange bearded man lying on the bed was. So the king came back and he couldn't remember who this man was. Okay, he could just look at him, he couldn't understand. But the bearded man spoke to him. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice when he saw that the king was awake. "I do not know you and have nothing to forgive you for," said the king. Because the king didn't know this man, how can he say that, how can he expect him to forgive him for something? Because the king didn't know this man, right? So he said that I don't know you and there is nothing for which you should ask for forgiveness from me. Okay. Then the man confesses to the king that he was actually an enemy of his. Okay. So he says, "You do not know me, but I know you. I am that enemy of yours who swore revenge on you because you put my brother to death and seized my property. You do not know me, but I know you." Okay, that is, I know who you are, and I am your enemy because you were the person who had put my brother to death, and you have also taken my property, seized my property. I knew you had gone alone to see that hermit, and I made up my mind to kill you on your way home. So I knew that you had gone to help the hermit, and I thought that I will just wait for you to come out so that I can kill you while you come back. So you see, if the king hadn't stopped to help the hermit, maybe there was a chance he might have been dead. Okay, because this enemy was waiting for him to kill him, right? But the day passed and you did not return. So I left my hiding place and I came upon your bodyguard. So I came out of my hiding place and there I saw your bodyguard, who recognized me and wounded me. Now the bodyguard recognized this enemy. Okay, he recognized this man and so he wounded him. I escaped from him, but I should have died if you had not dressed my wounds. If you had not taken care of my bloody wounds, maybe I would have died. I wish to kill you, and you have saved my life. Now, if I live, I will serve you as your most faithful servant and will order my sons to do the same. Forgive me. So, if I survive, if I live, I will just give my life to you. I will dedicate myself as your faithful servant, and I also will ensure that my kids also do the same thing. Okay. Forgive me. The king was very happy to have made peace with his enemy so easily and to have won him over as a friend. He not only forgave him but said he would send his servants and his own doctor to look after him, and he promised to give back the man his property. So the king was also happy to have made peace with his enemy because, you know, none of us likes to keep any enemies. The king was also quite happy for that reason. And he also promised the man that I will give you back your property. Leaving the wounded man, the king went out of the hut and looked round for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to get answers to his questions, because that was the reason why he was there at the first place, right? The king had come to the hut, he had come to the woods, to the hermit's place, just to get answers to the 3 questions, but till that time he was not able to get it. The hermit was on his knees sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. The beds were dug by the king, now the hermit was sowing seeds on them. The king went up to the hermit and said, "For the last time I beg you to answer my questions, wise man. That is, again I am begging you, please answer me the questions." "You have already been answered," said the hermit, still bending down to the ground and looking up at the king as he stood before him. So the hermit said that you have already been answered. There is no requirement for me to give you the answers because you have already been answered by your actions. Now the hermit said this. Now the king was confused. "How have I been answered? What do you mean? Because you have not told me anything. How can you say that I have been answered?" Then the hermit came towards him and said, "Do you not see? If you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, you would have gone away. Then that man would have attacked you and you would have wished you had stayed with me. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man. And to do me good was your most important business. So the first thing that he tries to put a similarity with the action a person does to the questions. Okay, that is the questions which the king had asked him has a true implication in life. The saint or the hermit tries to make the king understand that in the present moment how you acted, that is the most important thing for you to do. Afterwards, when the man ran to us, the most important time was when you were caring for him, because if you had not dressed his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important man, and what you did for him was your most important business. So the hermit again goes on to elaborate that in the next second instance, when the wounded man came, at that moment the most important thing for you to do was to help him, and he was the most important man. Okay. Remember then, please underline this portion. Remember then, there is only underline it. There is only one time that is most important, and that time is now. It is the most important time because it is the only time we have any power to act. So remember that the most important time for doing anything is now. Okay, at this present moment. This is very important for us as well, because now is the only time over which we can do something. We cannot change the past. We cannot predict the future. Right? So what can we do? What we can do is to do any work at the present moment. The most necessary person you are with at a particular moment, for no one knows what will happen in the future and whether we will meet anyone else. So the most important person for us at any moment is the person with whom we are. Okay, so at that moment the person with whom we are is the most important person. The most important business is to do that person good, because we were sent into this world for that purpose only. And what is our most important business to do? What is the most important thing for us to do? Is to do that person good with whom you are spending the present moment. So the hermit tells the king the answers to the three questions, and he says that the most important time is now, the present time. The most important person is the person you are with at the present moment, and the most important thing for you to do is to do that person good, because you are with that person at the present moment, and this is the only time over which you have any power to act. So do bracket the last two paragraphs. They are very important because they record the answers of the hermit regarding the three questions. Students, please leave your name and roll number in the, not roll number, just write your name in the chat box. I will give your attendance. I hope you have understood this lesson very well, and next day we are going to discuss the entire chapter once again, when you can clear your doubts if you have any, and we will proceed to the question answers. Okay students, bye.